Let's talk about directional pruning for a moment. This particular branch right here, obviously I want to leave in the tree because I don't want to create such a large hole. The problem that most people mistake, or the biggest mistake that people make, is not knowing exactly where to cut this one particular branch. Since I want to leave this one, I want to try to cut as little bit out of here as I possibly can. Well, these buds right here, you can see them, are actually indicating to me which way this tree will branch depending on where I cut it. Now, if I cut it at this point right here above these buds, this is going to branch back into the tree and straight out this way. I want to encourage this tree to spread outwards. So what I'm going to do is about 1/8 of an inch above those buds right there, I'm going to simply prune that part of that branch. When this blooms out, it encourages it to grow out this way versus back into the tree, which is what we're trying to eliminate. Always remember, you don't want to encourage anything growing back in towards the trunk. You want it to spread out and sideways, not grow back in. If you have any doubt at all, anything is even heading back in towards the trunk at all, like this guy. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's competing with anything. He is growing back in, needs to be eliminated. Open the middle of the tree up. Can't stress that enough. Competing branches, we eliminate. Now, in this case, this tree needs to have, again, a more pyramidal shape. I've got an issue here where this is actually the dominant part of this branch. But, as you can see, and you've probably figured out by now, he's trying to grow back into the middle of the tree. So, we eliminate him. This will eventually become a competing branch. That one goes away, and we encourage to spread side to side. Cut it above the bud. Did I get you? What I'm trying to do is try to show you how to open the tree up. We're trying to get to the central leader, so we can show you how to get a good, strong central leader, which is vital to the life of your tree. All right, now you can see this tree is a whole lot more open, a whole lot more air to circulate through it, and at the same time I've encouraged the openness out sideways and removed a lot of what was up on the inside of it. Now, probably the most difficult part we're going to get to, we've opened this tree up, it's going to be much easier to see, is selecting the true leader, the main leader of this tree, and eliminating the other branches around it. This creates a lot of heartache for people because they're snipping and cutting some very large branches out of it and feel that they're going to disfigure the tree. You really need to have that one main leader. If not, you're going to end up with very bad crotches in it and you're going to lose the entire top of the tree. You don't ever top a tree if it can be at all avoided around power lines and things like that. You really need to select a different tree if you have those kind of issues. Topping a tree is one of the most damaging things you can do to it. So let's take a look at that leader. Okay, when I'm looking at the central leader of this tree, I've got some good strong branches down here on the sides. What I'm looking at is this cluster of 4 branches sitting right here. What I want to try to do is pick the branch that's strongest. That may not always mean that it's the biggest branch that's sitting there, but it's going to be the one that is truly closer towards the center and is going to create less damage to the tree as I'm trying to prune out and clean it up. Now again, I've got 4 branches here. What I can do with these 2 on the sides, I've got a little bit of room here before these others split. And if you remember when we looked back at the other one talking about the crotch that can form in a tree, this is a very good example again of a crotch forming. This just happens to be in the leader. So what we have to do is decide which one of these do we truly want to eliminate. By looking down at this tree and trying to figure who is trying to be most central, it's actually, believe it or not, this one. This branch is much bigger, but this branch is going to be the closest to the strong central leader that I want to give. I want this one to become my strong central leader. This is going off just at enough of an angle that I want to eliminate it out of the tree. Now, as you can see, it's given it and shaped it a little bit more. It's moved this closer into the center. Now, I've got an awful lot of branches sitting up there to try to figure out what am I going to make the main lead. And we need to go up and take a close look at that. Okay, we've cheated a little bit and we've laid this tree down to try to show you what we're dealing with is this top main leader. Now, again, general rule of thumb always applies. Got this branch right here trying to cut back in towards the middle of the tree. So that's going to get eliminated right on out of there. Now, I'm going to run into another problem here with these two branches, trying to decide who wants to be king. Well, as we look at it, there's a little bit more angle there than I would care for, and that's going to create a bad crotch in my tree. So I simply remove him out of there. Again, a little bit of directional pruning on that one branch that we pulled out there. Same thing on this one. We want to encourage this to grow sideways. And I'm actually going to eliminate the small branch there altogether. That's really all there is to it. Don't be afraid to prune your trees. Make sure you use the right tools. And again, be aware that cutting larger branches can create bigger wounds on your tree than you anticipate. So take the time to make an extra cut 3 inches above where you're actually going to start, so that you don't have that tree limb and all of its weight come crashing down and peel the bark right off of that tree. Those wounds, folks, will never heal. We do not recommend using pruning tars and things along those lines. They're really not necessary. Pruning this time of the year is all you really need to do. On dogwoods and redbuds, early spring flowering trees, typically they will flower before they leaf out. You will lose some flowers if you prune them right now. A lot of people will tell you wait until after they flower, they haven't leafed out, you can remove them then. If you can deal with sacrificing a few flowers, now is the time to do it. As you can see, this doesn't even look like the same tree. It's much more open through the middle. We've got everything going towards the outside edge of the tree. The whole goal in pruning is to open up that tree and allow the airflow to eliminate insects and disease, not only in this tree, but in other trees in your yard and all the shrubs that can be infected by disease and insects.